Hey guys. So I figured it'd be a good time to do a progress update on this car because it's been about 6 months since I started. The progress is moving along a lot faster than it was on my car, partly because we're not doing as extensive of stuff to it, but also because it's just a lot more of the original metal and suspension and stuff like that was salvageable. So I patched the floor pan first of all. Didn't need a full patch, so we ended up getting a full floor pan, and then I just cut out what I needed. And then I did these lower patches. Pretty much every Volkswagen Bug I've ever worked on has needed patches right there. It's pretty commonplace. So that's why I released the rust repair video and used that spot for the video because it's really common. I was hoping it would help some people. As you can see, the whole inside and outside of the car was sandblasted, so that made the process a lot easier, especially because I did a lot of welding and grinding on this car. Didn't want to be breathing in toxic stuff. I also rebuilt this rear section, so those 3 panels we bought separately and then fitted them and welded them on, which turned out really nice. And then obviously some other little patches here and there. But yeah, metalwork is almost done. Unfortunately, I did just find a little bit more rust right down here. As you can see, there's a hole right there. That was because I was down there and I found a little pinhole, so I tried to patch it up, and in the process just poked a screwdriver right through the hole and it just totally opened that up. So I am really glad I found that because it is a structural area, but it does suck. Next, I did the front suspension. I was gonna put the steering back together too, but turned out the right side tie rod was too far gone. But I did get the beam out, painted, and then put it back in with new main bolts. And then we do have the steering parts that needed replaced, and a new steering dampener. So once that tie rod is ready, we can put it back in. So then the front suspension will be nearly complete. All it needs is shocks. All it needs is shocks now. And then the rear was in decent shape. So I got the shocks out, and then I think we're just gonna do shocks and of course, new axle boots back here. But everything back here looks to be in decent condition. We are gonna do new bump stops. Might as well, front and rear. The front bump stops were pretty well destroyed after years of hard use. Being a Montana car, it's seen some dirt roads, so it's not surprising. But everything else was in surprisingly good condition. So we'll get new shocks in, get new axle boots on, new bump stops, and then suspension will be done. After that, yeah, we'll do some mechanical stuff. I have the engine over here torn down and ready to go. So we'll get that rebuilt, and then wiring, which is super simple. Then we'll get it out to paint. I don't know what order all those things are going to happen in. Paint's probably going to happen pretty soon. Obviously I have some dent fixing to do, but the car is pretty straight in general, and after I'm done patching and straightening, I'll do a little Bondo, make things nice and perfectly smooth, and then we'll send it out to paint. The original color was a really nice cherry red. As you can see, there's a little bit left here on the dash. So that the dash didn't get sandblasted, partly because we needed a reference color to match so that we can paint the body. So it's a nice cherry red, and then the wheels, we're gonna match those. And then as you can see, I took a pressure washer to the wheels to just scrape off any loose paint. And so those can get primered next, and then those will get sent out to paint too. Same color as the body. But yeah, I'm super excited about this project. It's coming along pretty nicely. One thing I will say is that patching little areas is a lot more tedious than what we did with my Baja Bug, which was basically just cut off the bottom 5 inches and patch it all. Which, you know, that's hard because it's a lot of fitting and stuff. Because, you know, we did rocker panels and floor pans and everything, except for the tunnel. But this is honestly a little bit more tedious because it's a bunch of little stuff. It's a lot of little areas, a lot of little welding, and you know, I keep finding more. So I almost prefer to just cut out mass quantities of metal and just patch it all at once so we don't end up rust hunting. But I am glad that we're salvaging a lot of the original sheet metal. It just makes for a more, you know, intact restoration. So it's coming along really nicely. So there you have it, 62 bug restoration as it stands after 6 months so far. I like to think that we're moving on to the building up stage of the restoration now, which is nice. So we're past tearing things down and now we're building stuff back up. It would be nice to see, you know, a little bit faster progress, but at the end of the day, it's just me in here. So now I have school, which sucks. But for one guy, I don't know, progress is going pretty fast, faster than my last car at least. So that's good. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. And yeah, hope you're learning stuff. I'm learning stuff. This channel has been really fun so far, and yeah.